Hi everybody, this is Rebecca Lynn Barkley, aka Boobom187. This is my review for a day, and today's review, ladies and dudes, well my friends, it's that time again to do another movie review. And sadly, I don't have the movie of Tron Legacy yet, but I promise to all of you that I will do that movie review very, very soon. But for now on, it's time for another movie review that involves another great musical of all time. So, for my next movie review is the Moulin Rouge. I freaking love this movie. And this is one of the baddest movie I have ever seen in my life. I will say for the other films, I've never seen the ballroom one. Romeo and Juliet's okay. I haven't seen the Australian one, and I refuse to see Great Gatsby because of the bad music choices, if you know what I mean. But I will say Moulin Rouge is definitely one of the baddest movie I have ever seen in my life, and this is one of the films that truly blew me away, with its great storytelling, great characters, and all that stuff. So, without further ado, ladies and dudes, let's head on to my 17th movie review of the Moulin Rouge. And so, let's kick off with the plot of the story. So, the movie took place in the year of 1899, the Summer of Love. In the city of Paris, France, the land that fools with truth, beauty, freedom, and above all things, love. There was a young, mysterious writer named Christian who had decided to get out of London and start having a new life in Paris, France, so he could know about the mysterious world called the Children of the Revolution. And so while he is starting his brand new life in Paris, France, he met a couple of these dudes who are performers, musicians, and they're trying to work on this, this modern play called Spectacular, and to loosely track this was the one who made up the idea for the play, and it will take place in Switzerland! How silly is that? Until, while they're trying to figure this out, how they're gonna make their play work, thanks to Christian, he found a couple pieces for this tune called The Hills Are Alive with the Sound of Music, and all the guys were really surprised that Christian was a pretty good singer, but he's also a great poetry dude. And then somehow in some ways, thanks to Toulouse-Lautrec, he decided to make up a good idea. If Christian will ever fall in love with this very beautiful young woman who is known as the sparkling diamond named Satine. And so, one night they'd gone to Moulin Rouge and they met Satine for the very first time, and Christian, he's becoming a shy dude and all that stuff. And then later on in the story, they began to fall in love, and Satine and Christian are gonna have a really nice time to get to know each other, become good friends, or just rather start falling in love with each other. And so, while Toulouse's plan became a big giant success, later on in the story there's going to be some big giant chaos in Toulouse. And to tell you the truth is, Moulin Rouge is in grave danger because of this one evil dude named the Duke, who already made a deal to Howard Siller that he wants to go to the deeds to the Moulin Rouge, and Howard Siller already signed a piece of paper, so, Moulin Rouge won't be no longer, a nightclub, but into a very big Broadway theater. And also, the Duke wanted Satine for himself, so he could use her as a slave for all eternity. So, my friends, there's only a couple of questions remain in this movie. will ever Satine and Christian will ever rescue their relationship from the hands of the evil Duke, or the evil Duke's going to take everything that everybody owns, while, the Moulin Rouge is no longer a nightclub, but becoming a Broadway theater. So that is my whole entire plot of Moulin Rouge, and I don't want to take too many things away about it. So anyway, ladies and dudes, what the heck do I think about this movie? To tell you the truth is, ladies and dudes, I frickin' love it. It is a pretty darn good movie, and it's not that bad. I mean, it's a really good movie to watch. It is one of the most guilty pleasure films of all time. Hands down. So yeah, I do enjoy the storyline. I do enjoy the characters. I love the songs. I love the score. I love the sights, the scenery, the special effects, and the costume designs. I mean, I love everything about it. It's a really darn good film, even if it does have a few flaws here and there. So, let's head on to my strongest points and the weakest points of the movie. The strongest points of Moulin Rouge is a tie. Just a tie between the first half of the Moulin Rouge and the Argentine tango dance. I will say, for the first half of the Moulin Rouge, it is pretty darn well done. I love the beginning of the film. I love when Christian was telling everybody the story about what happened in his life when he became a part of the Moulin Rouge world. I love the can-can dance, and I love the costume designs when men wear their tuxedos. I love all the comedy moments in the film. I will say the first half was pretty well done. I will say for the second half, it was okay. It was okay. I like a few things here and there. And also for the Argentine tango dance, that was also pretty well done. It was one of the best dance sequences ever in this movie. I love the angles, and I love the spinning, and it had a really dark, edgy storyline. And there will always be a scary moment where Satine is in trouble. The part where Satine is all alone in that Gothic tower where she's having supper with the Duke, and, she was trying to pretend to fall in love with him, but she's still in love with Christian, if you know what I mean. So anyway, ladies and dudes, I will say the strongest point of the movie will be the first half of the film and the Argentine tango dance. And for the weakest point of the movie is, once again, a tie. The first one is, I don't like the version of Like a Virgin. It was okay, but the main problem I have with that dance sequence, it was a bit too gay for my taste. I mean, I wish it didn't fit well to the movie. It's just not right, if you know what I mean. But it does have some funny moments here and there, but it won't work in this film. I'm sorry, everybody, but I don't like that part at all. And the other part I don't like about this film is what the Duke had done for messing up the main ending for the spectacular story. He wants the ending to be different, the courtesan choosing the Maharaja, and that's not going to work. That evil Duke needs to learn that the Maharaja is one evil dude, and he wants to take all over India. The courtesan's kingdom, and everything that she owns. But I have a message for all of you, ladies and dudes. Don't ever mess up somebody's ending. It has to be none of anybody's business for, telling you what to do and trying to mess up somebody's ending for a very good story. And we do need a happy ending story after all. After all, the courtesan chose the penniless sitar player, not the Maharaja. So please, ladies and dudes, don't try this at home. Please stop, messing up somebody's ending, if you know what I mean. And now let's go on to the characters of Moulin Rouge. And I will say there's only 4 characters that did stand out to me the most in this film. And I'm not going to talk about the Duke, because he is one evil, mad, stupid, arrogant dude, if you know what I mean. Let's go on to the 4 characters. The first one I want to talk about is Harold Ziller, played by Jim Broadbent, or whatever his last name is. It's hard to pronounce. But anyway, I really do like Harold Ziller. He was a pretty cool dude, and sometimes he can be a bit funny. He has a great personality, great attitude. I really like the father and daughter relationship between him and Satine, and if you remember the second half of the movie, you will see kind of a sad moment between this guy, and I do feel kind of sorry for him in some ways. He's not really a bad person, it's just that he doesn't understand how Satine feels. You know, for real. And he needs to understand that this is Satine's choice. She wants to be with Christian for the rest of her life, but you already know about the bad news of the film, since I don't want to spoil it out. But you know Harold Ziller wants Satine and Christian's relationship to come to an end, because the great danger ahead, since I can't spoil it for all of you. But if you remember what I'm talking about, you'll know what I mean. So I will say Harold Ziller is a good character, but I do feel kind of sorry for him. Next one is Toulouse-Lautrec, played by John Leguizamo. I will say that Toulouse is definitely one of the most funniest characters I have ever seen in my life. I mean, he has a great personality, great attitude. He's so darn funny. I love all the entertaining moments that he did in the film here and there. And I really like the part where he calls the Duke the Swat pig. I mean, that was the best dialogue I ever heard in this movie. Yeah, for real. And I do like the part where Toulouse was the only guy who cares about Satine and Christian's relationship, since he was very, very close to both of them all this time in the movie, if you know what I mean. I mean, you could say that Toulouse-Lautrec is the main Cupid of Moulin Rouge, for real. And yes, to tell you the truth is, Toulouse, he is based by a real person. He is the only true character in the movie who is here all this time in the film. And since, if you already know about Toulouse's story, the real Toulouse, if you know what I mean. So, yeah, Toulouse-Lautrec, he's a cool dude overall. And now let's go on to the main characters of the movie. I know they're fictional, but they'll always be one of the best main love couples ever in movie history. Satine and Christian, played by Nicole Kidman and Ewan McGregor. I will say they did a fantastic job with this movie. I mean, I enjoyed every single part of the film where they became the main lovers of the movie. They had a really good storyline. They had great personalities, great attitudes. They have their own dreams. Satine dreams to be an actress, while Christian dreamed, he had a dream of becoming one of the most greatest writers ever in whatever type of history that he'll come from, I guess. But, yeah, and they had pretty good voices as well. They did a pretty good job singing those 2 songs. One is called The Elephant Love Melody, while the other is Come What May. Those 2 songs will always be the best ones that truly blew me away. So, overall, Nicole Kidman and Ewan McGregor, they did a fantastic job with their characters. And I guess they are the main strongest point for the film. So anyway, ladies and dudes, let's head on to my final thoughts of Moulin Rouge. overall, Moulin Rouge is such one of the best legendary musical films of all time. It had a good storyline, good characters. I love the setting, the score, the songs, the costume designs, and all the above. And yes, this is one of the best forbidden love story films ever in movie history. And so, for my rating from 1 to 10, I decided to give it an 8 out of 10. It's a good movie overall, but it does have a few flaws here and there. And so, ladies and dudes, that wraps up my 17th movie review of the Moulin Rouge. I hope you enjoyed this movie review, and join me next time. Hopefully, I will do my next movie review of Tron Legacy. So be prepared for that one, and I will see you all later. Sayonara.